Hellsing Ultimate is a series I feel isn't fully appreciated. Don't get me wrong, it has a lot of acclaim, but I think people often sleep on the more thoughtful elements of it. When people talk about it, they usually reference how cool and badass everything is. Which, to be fair, a large chunk of the series is just an excuse to see cool shit happen. There is, however, a very interesting story going on under the surface of it all. The character that best exemplifies this is none other than the head honcho himself, the Major. The Major stands alongside other titans of villainy, such as Dio or Frieza, as just a fun character to watch. He just loves how evil he is. I mean, he's a Nazi for God's sake. He's about as bad as it gets outside of being the literal devil. Beautifully performed by his English voice actor, Gildert Jackson, this is truly a standout performance. He adds so much power and gleeful malice to him that you can't help but get sucked in by his ambition. The iconic "I love war" speech is one of the most famous moments from the show in its entirety, where the Major explains how he really doesn't give a fuck if he's winning or losing, he just loves war. Dude, he's like an orc from Warhammer 40k, he just wants a good fight. There is another reason I love this fat little bastard so much. In Hellsing, there is an idea that our invincible protagonist, Alucard, wants to be defeated. I'm going to let the man himself, Crispin Freeman, explain the concept.
He wants humanity to beat demon powers. He is the representative of demon powers. If he is Count Dracula, which he is, Vlad ostensibly made this sort of deal with the demonic powers as a fight against God. He wanted to defeat God. And so he sort of forswore that in order to be this demonic thing. Well, he disagrees with his choice. He thinks it was probably the wrong choice, and he would really love for a human to defeat him. But it must be a human. It can't be an angel. It can't be some sort of divine figure, and that's why he gets so angry when Anderson takes the nail and starts becoming this supernatural being, because it's screwing up the argument. The argument is humanity is enough on its own, and trying to do this sort of demonic thing is actually dangerous and is actually the coward's way out.
So in short, Alucard is looking for a human to defeat him, and he could not ask for a better foe than the Major. For you see, the Major is above all else human. In the final battle he has against Integra, he talks about how, despite his exterior, that is not what defines a human. Within him rests a human's soul, and a human's will, precious beyond all worth. As long as he is moved by his own goals, by his own ambitions and convictions, that he is human. He is dark humanity made manifest, a culmination of all things we detest about ourselves. A warmonger, a bigot, a scheming, malicious, gleeful lump whose only goals are to kill and be killed. When offered the chance to become like Alucard, a vampire made in the same way, the Major does what Alucard could not. He rejects this unholy power. To the Major, to remove any part of himself is to surrender. It is to accept that you alone are not enough. It is a rejection of human ambition. In the same way that Ahab from Moby Dick doesn't like the idea that God controls everything, because then it means it's not him putting the harpoon in the whale. I think the Major doesn't want to become a vampire in part because it would mean it's not entirely him defeating Alucard. In Hellsing, vampirism is not just drinking blood, it is to take someone else's essence into oneself. As the Major himself puts it, it is to gain by losing, to steal everything that defines another. For all their differences, Alucard and the Major agree on one thing: to become a vampire is weakness. To be a creature of such weakness that you cannot bear a human life, this is unacceptable. It must be him and him alone, his own essence, his own human will, that defeats Alucard. Throughout the entire series, I think he is the only character that truly values his humanity to the fullest extent, and yet he is without a doubt the most evil character in the show. You don't need vampires, ghouls, or werewolves, or any other monsters that go bump in the night. Humanity is enough of a monster already. Between his charisma, his philosophy, and his excellent design, he's one of the best anime villains I've ever seen, and I love every second he's on screen. And while it may be the case that I enjoy watching him, before I leave, to clarify, I don't condone any of his actions. I think he's a very bad man. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.